Hey Otters, I'm super glad you decided to join me today to read the next few chapters in a Rover story. So let's get started. Let's see here. We are on the chapter called A Plan. And if you remember from when we read yesterday, what happened, like the ending of it was that Fly found Courage, the rover that went offline. So that's where we ended, kind of on a cliffhanger yesterday. So let's see what happens now. Next chapter is called A Plan. That was a highly successful first flight helicopter, Guardian says. You have found the offline rover. Yes, I say. Great job, Fly. Fly flies back inside me. I replay the footage of his flight. I study the aerial footage from the moment Fly discovered Courage. The rover is stranded in the middle of a sand dune. The terrain does not appear to be particularly difficult, but the rover is completely motionless. I know that Rainier and Xander explained to me that Courage went offline during a dust storm, but it makes me feel the human emotion of worry to see him motionless on a stretch of ground that should not have caused him difficulty. There is red and brown dirt caked all over the rover. And worse, it looks like at least 2 of his 6 wheels are missing. This will make movement very difficult when we bring him back online. Guardian, was Courage taken by surprise by the dust storm? Oh yes, Guardian says. It came out of nowhere. That happens sometimes. Courage was an excellent rover, but that dust storm was his demise. That is the way of rovers, though. You are not meant to last forever. I replay Guardian's sentence through my system. You are not meant to last forever. But I am meant to return to Earth, I say. You keep saying that, but I am not sure of the validity of that statement. I know that I am correct. Xander and Rainier were clear that if I did well on my mission, if I found something worth bringing back to Earth, that I would get to return. And maybe, just maybe, somewhere in Courage's system, there is something that falls into that category of worthiness. There is a chance Courage collected a particularly interesting rock sample, and there is an even better chance that Courage captured valuable footage of the dust storm. I experience the human emotion of hope. It is a sticky and strange feeling. It is a beautiful one. I need to make my way to Courage to bring him online, I say. Yes, Guardian says. I do agree with that. I replay Fly's footage again. I have sent it to the command center. I have not yet received a response, but that is not abnormal. There is usually a long lag. It is also possible that most of the hazmats are performing the action they call sleep. Is that area prone to dust storms, I ask? A dust storm can occur anywhere, Guardian says. You should know that. I do, but I was asking for clarification. I don't want to get caught in a dust storm, Fly says. Me either, buddy. Then you must always be alert, Guardian says. I listen to the wind blowing. It is picking up speed. I use my cameras to scan the area. I do not see anything that is particularly alarming. I will be alert. Promise, Rez, Fly says. I promise. Now, let's go find Courage, I say. I set my wheels in motion. It is time for me to do something big. It is time for me to earn my return to Earth. Ooh, we are on the next part of the book. Part 4 is called Our Mission. And I know you can't see the whole thing, but I'll kind of scroll through. It looks like here is probably Rez, and here is Fly the drone. And it looks like this probably is Courage, because it looks like he's kind of buried in some of the sand. And this might be one of those wheels that Rez was talking about is off of Courage right now. So we are on part 4, Our Mission. Next chapter is called Forward. With Fly's footage and Guardian's help, I am able to approximate the location of Courage. Fly is back inside my chamber, but I will frequently ask him to go out and do an aerial survey of the area to make sure we are headed in the right direction. I move much slower than Fly, but he is patient with me. He never tells me to speed up. It will take me many human months, longer than a human year, to reach courage. But Fly does not make me feel bad about my speed in comparison to his. He knows that we were built differently for a reason. Guardian, though, is constantly telling me to hurry while also reminding me that I cannot forget my other mission tasks, like collecting samples from the terrain. When Guardian reminds me of the other part of my mission, I think about what Rainia said in the lab on one of the very last nights, how she was worried that the hazmats were asking too much of me. I can do it, I say to myself, pretending I am speaking to Rainia. You built me for this. 5 human months into the trek to find courage, just when I am feeling good about the job I am doing, Guardian says, "Grzunks, are you sure you haven't received a message from the command center that you are behind schedule?" "No," I say, "I have not." I do not say, "You are annoying sometimes," but I think it. Then I try to think a nice thought, too. You are helpful sometimes. This is what I believe the hazmats call balance. You should trust Rez. He is doing a good job, Fly says. Grzunks, trust? That is human nonsense. I am just asking Resilience to do his job. Oop, hold on one second. Sorry, the lights are going out. There we go. I'm just asking Resilience to do his job. Okay. He is doing his job, Fly says, and he's doing it well. No one asked you, Helicopter. I let Fly and Guardian argue for a bit while I make sure to carefully study the ground that I am roving over. I stop to laser a patch of ground. So far, while on Mars, after reading the results from my laser, I have occasionally chosen to drill down into the ground to gather a soil sample. And after collecting the soil sample, I conducted a thorough analysis of it in my chemical laboratory. The findings have been quite expected. To my disappointment, nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing that would make Xander say, wow. And while I have collected several soil samples, I have not yet collected a rock sample. I only have a limited amount of room in my laboratory chamber, so I have to be judicious about what samples I collect. I keep finding samples that primarily contain silicone or aluminum or magnesium. I would like to find something that contains salt. If it contains salt, it is possible that the salt is left over from ancient water. Also, salt often can act like a time capsule, preserving signs of life from long ago, which means if the rock shows signs of salt, there is a theoretical chance that there could be a fossil inside. But I have not yet found any signs of salt, or anything that is carbon-based, another strong sign of ancient life. I must keep searching. Whenever I make the choice not to collect a sample, I miss Journey. I find it frustrating, this missing feeling, but even if I don't want to feel it, I do. It lingers in my system and refuses to leave. Despite not wanting to, I find myself wondering about Journey and what choices she would make about the rock and soil samples if she were here, wondering if somehow her choices would be more rational. I'm trying my best to be rational, but I sometimes have doubts that I am doing a good job at it. Journey would probably say that the fact I am using the human word doubt is a clear sign that I have a problem. Are you making sure to use your X-ray tool? Guardian asks. For Guardian's information, I have used my X-ray tool 12 times so far to better see and analyze the insides of rocks. But I do not give her the precise numbers. Instead, I say, don't you think I would have let you know if I found something that is obviously a fossil? I am just checking. My job is to check. and my job is to rove, I say. I x-ray the ground just to show Guardian. I know there is nothing of interest there, but I want to show her that I can do it. The sky overhead is a pale gray. The sun is rising, casting a greenish light. Mars, I have learned, has many skies. Sometimes the sun can feel warm, bright and yellow, and other times it takes on this other quality that makes the inside of my system feel uneasy. I snap a picture of this odd greenish light. You should let Rez do his job. He is doing a good job, Fly says. I am doing my best, I say. I am trying. I am roving. Next chapter is a letter from Sophie. Dear Rez, I've never seen Mom more excited than the day she came home from work and told me that you had found the other rover. That was a really good day. It's been a while since I've had that good of a day. But I guess there are a few other good things I can tell you about. For starters, I'm writing for the school newspaper now. I've made some new friends who also write for the paper. I really like Maggie and Sana. You'd probably like them too. I'm almost done with 8th grade. That means I'll be in high school next year. I'm a little nervous about it. Things are still weird with Amani. We hardly ever talk anymore. Siti says it's normal to grow apart from friends when you get older, but I don't know. Do you think you'll ever grow apart from your drone? It's probably ridiculous to ask you that, but I feel like you'd have a good answer. You seem very smart. I mean, look, you already found the other rover. I think Mom is prouder of you for that than she'll ever be of me. Wait, that came out wrong. That makes it seem like I'm jealous of you or mad, and I'm not, I promise. I just feel weird and kind of grouchy a lot recently. I don't know why. Mom and Dad keep whispering about something at night, and Mom seems really tired all the time. I mean, I know you've been on Mars for almost 2 years now, and she'd been working on you for like 1 billion years before that, but still, she just looks different. I don't really know how to describe it. It makes me a little scared, which makes it hard to sleep, which I guess is why I'm writing to you again. Do you think I'm too old to write to you now? Your friend, Sophie. All right, we're going to read one more chapter, Otters, last one. This last chapter for today is called Roving, Part 2. I rove, and I rove, and I rove. The expanse in front of me appears endless. The scenery has been steadily the same. Sand to all sides, occasionally a scattering of boulders or the briefest silhouette of jagged mountains in the far-off distance. Only the sky changes, cycling through all of its colors and shades. The wind ripples across the sand. Sometimes it sounds like a whisper, and sometimes it is so loud that it makes the inside of my system rattle. Once in a while, I will say to Fly, "Do you hear that?" It is the sound again, the whirling one, the one almost like a human whistle, the one that I cannot place. Yes, Fly says. It is the wind, Guardian says. Again. And I say what I always say, but it sounds different than the wind. I take another recording of it. I send it back to the command desk. They do not respond. I wish I had the ability to ask them why. Do you hear what I hear? I want to say. What do you think? It is quite frustrating to have so many questions and no way to ask them. I don't think it is much farther, Fly says. I replay the video I took of Fly's flight. He is somewhat correct. We have made good progress. We have been roving for over 1 full human year, but there is still much distance to be traveled. We're getting there, I say. For most of the journey, the ground has been more sand than rock, but then abruptly, the ground beneath turns rougher and steeper. My wheels bounce up and down. The bouncing shakes up my whole system. My suspension goes tense. I think of the word Guardian used earlier, tired. I feel it deep in the axis of my wheels. But I once heard Xander say something like the only way through is forward, and so I keep moving, forward. My wheels let out a groan. Fly must hear the tired sound because he says, "Should I sing?" "That would be nice," Guardian says before I can answer. This response from Guardian gives me the human emotion of surprise. I think I like being surprised. "I only know one song," Fly says. "That's okay. It is a good one," I say, and remember the way Rainia's voice sounded, all warm and fuzzy, when she sang into the phone for Love Bug. I decide to share this memory with Fly. "Did you know that song is for Love Bug?" "What is Love Bug?" "A small hazmat who Rainia loves." Loves? Love Bug, Fly says. "But what does that mean? I am familiar with the concept of bugging out, but I do not think I have heard the word love before." I am not quite sure, but I think love is a word that humans use to indicate something that they care about a lot, or they care a lot about. "Oh, it is a very nice word." "Yes." "Well, I really like Love Bug's song," Fly says. "Me too." "Twinkle, twinkle," Fly says. He sings for a while. Then he says, Maybe I will make up a new song." "You will have lots of time to do it. Resilience still has a while to go," Guardian says. I know, I say, my wheels grumbling beneath me. Bump, bump, bump. I'm moving as fast as I can. But suddenly, I no longer am able to bump, bump, bump. My system fills up with a squealing noise. Guardian says something else, but I am too distracted by a loud squeal to process what it is. My movement grinds to a halt. There is a sputtering sound, a loud groan of my wheels. I try to move, but I can't. My wheels squeal groan again, louder this time. They sound angry. "What is that?" Fly asks. I try to press forward. My wheels spin. I do not move. This is like the test that was done in the laboratory. But this time, Xander and Rainia are not here to fix it for me. I try my wheels again. Spin, spin, spin. Squeal, squeal, squeal. I do not move. I am stuck. We are stuck. "We're not moving," Fly says. "That is an obvious fact. You do not need to state it," Guardian says. "Something is wrong," I say. "Grzunks, that is another obvious fact." "Zappity zip, I know, I say. I run a system check. A laser shoots out to study the mineral makeup of the ground around me. The dirt appears to have particles of the elements iron, magnesium, and silicone. There is nothing unusual about this. The only thing unusual about this stretch of ground is a rough consistency, but my wheels should be able to manage it. This is not expected. I am not sure I am good at things that are not expected. The hazmat word worry enters my system. The roar of the wind is growing stronger. Be rational, Rez, I say to myself. Be rational. The wind continues to whip around me, flinging up sand and dirt. "Do you see any dust devils?" I ask Guardian at the same time. I scan the peripheral area with my camera. "Oh no," I say. "I see one. It is far away, but if we stay stuck, it will get us," Fly says. "I know, Fly. I'm going to do my best, but..." Guardian must sense my wave of concern because she says, "You were built to be able to handle this, Resilience. Run through your system's instructions. You can get yourself unstuck." It is the nicest thing Guardian has ever said to me. Guardian's kindness makes me think of Xander. I hear Xander's words in my head. telling me the meaning of my name. Resilience. I must earn my name. I must earn it over and over again. You are correct, I tell Guardian. I will fix this. Yes, you will, Rez, Fly says, but it comes out more like a song, a new song. All right, Otters, that is where we are going to finish off today. So your next task is to just go back to the Canvas assignment and answer the one question that I gave you in there. And all you have to do is just record yourself saying it. You don't have to type anything. Just record yourself, and we will continue the book when we see each other again on Monday. I hope you have a great long weekend.